advertising is changing every single year. And in 2025, these are the 5 ad formats that I see that are creating right now billions of dollars for companies and brands. And just so you are aware, the 5th one is the only old classic format that I see to be working. I'm going to break down to you what they are, how you can implement them for your brand and business. So let's start with number 1. Number 1, I had to add it in, was AI ads. Now, the use case for AI is continuing to increase, and specifically when it comes to advertisements, you're probably going to start using them in your toolkit. Now, the reason why is because we can spin up multiple advertisements very, very quickly. One common platform is called Arc Ads. Okay. And they actually give you the avatars, they give you everything, and you just have to really just prompt it with your script, and then it creates it for you. So check that out if you don't know what Arc Ads is. The beautiful thing about AI ads is now a lot of different softwares are incorporating AI. So whether that is Photoshop, whether that's any Adobe type software or program, they're all going to start incorporating AI. This is just going to make our speed severely increase. So this is just going to give us the ability, AI ads, to test, quickly change, which is just iterate, and then test again. And continue to do so. Like they say, advertising is a 4-letter word. They say advertising is just another word for testing. And that's all we're going to do here. And the beautiful thing about ads with the help of AI is that we can get through this cycle very, very quickly. Okay. In fact, we can even do it more quickly than someone who is not using it. So in the future, you're going to have a tremendous amount of noise because a lot of it will be generated through AI, and you can push it more quickly into your market. So AI ads, if you're not using them, start testing with them. Basically, what I'm starting to do is you're gonna test the framework or the angle. You're gonna get data. So you're gonna test the framework or angle. You're going to get data. And then, and only then, you can maybe put some proper money behind it, or you can actually get a creator to help facilitate that type of advertisement. But right now, if you have no money, something like Arc Ads or a platform that just basically gives it all to you, you just have to put in the script, is massively beneficial to any company. So that's number 1, and this will only increase as we move forward. So start using AI ads or start incorporating AI into your workflow to make it more seamless. Okay. Number 2 is EGC. Now, I don't know if everyone knows what EGC is. There's UGC, which is user-generated content. Now there's something called EGC, and it's becoming more popular. Okay, content, right? So employee-generated content. So you have user-generated content, which is just someone using a product, basically just saying how their experience was or the unboxing. But now you have employee-generated content. So this goes back to everyone likes to see BTS shots or behind the scenes type of content. So this here really allows you to, 1, further trust the brand or the company because now an employee is actively speaking upon it. But more importantly, you get to understand the team more and the culture. So this here, instead of UGC, which again, you don't know who the person is, but they're talking about a brand or a product you may know. Now it's employee generated content. So you're going to take an employee and they're going to start talking about the thing they're doing or the brand they have or the products they sell, but it's the employees aspect, right? And so you can obviously just through that, you can create a lot of cool, unique angles, right? Does the employee trust the product? Do they trust the team? Do they, You can do all this type of stuff, which is very cool, creates a lot of tension and great storytelling aspects. But EGC, employee generated content, is only going to increase from here because now you're starting to see founder-led and brand-led like activities that are really starting to move the needle for such companies. So if you have employees, tell them to start making content on the thing that they're trying to sell and how is everything. Again, it doesn't need to be exactly about the products. It could be something that they do on a daily basis, something along those lines. But EGC, employee generated content, alongside UGC will only increase from here because people are going to start wanting more authentic content, because you're going to have, again, tremendous amount of noise from AI ads. So while AI ads are clogging, up the radio ways, employee generated content is a unique, fresh perspective on a lot of things. Okay, so start implementing EGC into your ads, or again, test them. Next, that I see working very, very well is your classic objection handling. Okay. Now, this works very well. Obviously, if you've done research on your product, you know you probably have one or two or just a handful of main objections, right? So you probably have a money objection, you probably have a time objection, and maybe you have a spouse objection. All you're going to do is you're going to take a video. Now, these are better when it is founder-led, because the founder obviously conveys the most authority within that brand or company. But nonetheless, if you just take the company profile and you start making objection ads, they are great because, number one, you can pass the objection, right? So you can basically squash the objection instead of doing it one-to-one as you would if you are sitting down with someone and they do give you this objection. You can do it actually one-to-many. So that's the beautiful thing. You can squash a lot, or you can prevent a lot of these objections, and that's essentially what you're doing, is by raising them earlier before everyone does. And two, this now becomes a one-to-many framework. So instead of one-to-one, right? So if I'm sitting with someone and they give me a money objection, that is one-to-one. But now I have the ability to do one-to-many. And the thing is, if I can convey it properly, I have almost I have basically perspective switched. Okay, it has led to me switching their perspective, and so now they're actually on board because my objection was so well handled. Okay, so this becomes one-to-many, and you can broadcast why it's not expensive, or why it makes sense, or why you have time, or why your husband, wife, partner, X, Y, and Z would be for you doing this thing. Okay, so those are fantastic. And more importantly, here's a little tip. What you want to do is you just basically want to take a username. Okay, make up a username. So you want to actually showcase, right? Okay, put a little profile pic there. You want to showcase the actual objection here, right? So you want to have it on the screen, and then you want to have someone basically breaking it down, why it makes sense to go with the brand, okay? Brand or company. All right. Hopefully that makes sense, but these are really great. And again, it's more so of a way to basically prevent all these objections, just raise them up already, right? Go public with them. And basically this is a one-to-many, okay? So if you do it right, if you squash the objection really good and it makes sense, it makes both logical and emotional sense, then go one-to-many, put that out on your socials, and more people will be willing to buy from you because these are all right. You're basically just pre-framing them, okay? All right, next. Let's see, what do we got here? Yes, the classic organic content. So the thing with creating ads is it obviously takes a tremendous amount of time, or it did. It's going to become false as AI takes over. But advertisements historically, they take a lot of time. Okay. You have to plan it. You have to plan the scenes out. You have to maybe communicate with creators. It takes a lot of time and potentially a lot of money. But one thing here is that, and the one thing you do have to realize is not every ad is going to be a hit. So you're devoting time and money into potentially a system, okay, or an entity, we'll say, which is basically each ad, right? So you're spending so much time, okay, so you're spending a lot of time and money on something that is not guaranteed. Okay, not okay. It is not guaranteed. And that's the biggest issue. So you're going to test. You're going to test hundreds. You're going to test thousands across the year. And you're going to have a pretty small hit rate because that's just how it goes. And that's going to increase even more so, again, with format number one, which is just basically your AI ads. But the thing here is that you're testing and testing and you have a low hit rate, which basically means lots are not going to convert. Okay, but you need to be basically taking at bats to figure out the ones, or just to have the ability to have ones that eventually do hit because you're just trying so much. So what happens here is that you basically bypass this process because now you're putting out organic content. And all organic content does is it saves you money, maybe not time, probably time too though. Saves you money. Let's just say time. Okay, because you're not creating this whole thing. You're just rather maybe you and a camera and a mic and maybe one scene. But you bypass this process because now you're saving money and time, but ultimately you're just putting things out. So you're already creating content. Okay. So instead of you, again, going through this whole process of creating ads, getting people together, getting proper shots and all this, all you need to do is just, you're going to do the thing you're already doing, which is creating creating content, creating content. And then eventually you are already at bat because you're putting out so much content per week, per month, per year, that you will have the same process take place where you have a low hit rate. But again, you are not spending money. Or you're not spending the same amount of money you would rather if you were running all these ads. And then what you do have is that you're going to have, naturally, you're going to have a few that go viral or that do work. And all you're going to do is you're going to run those ads. Okay. It's a great way. And this is going to become more important because, again, we're becoming, a lot of people like, they're going to start liking more authentic stuff. So this organic stuff that people are putting out, they're going to start really enjoying because you can resonate with the founder, the brand, the company. And so instead of running a bunch of ads and spending so much time and money on them, you're just going to take your greatest hits, your organic hits, and you're going to run those ads. And this is something that we're starting to see happen a lot more because it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to do. Just post organically. The ones that do resonate with your core, advertise them, put some spend behind them, and then they typically usually do very well. All right. So last one here, and this is your classic format, is the classic us versus them. These have been around since the beginning of advertising, right? So you have, let's just say company one versus company two, right? You're going to basically put out benefits, and then you're going to put out your benefits. and then it's basically a great shot, a great snapshot of why your company is better than the other company. You can do this through static ads, right? You can do this through video, and more so, it's more of the structure, the framework, this is why we're better than them kind of thing, or this is why you should buy us rather than buying the other company. That framework, that perspective, I think will always make sense. It just works because, again, you get a proper snapshot, hopefully unbiased. Of course, it's biased though, but you do your research to have a non-biased kind of approach to it, where you say, basically, look, we're offering it for $2, our competitors are $5, and so on and so forth. Because if you do tend to lie, obviously your customers will catch on, the market will catch on. So you don't want to do that, right? You basically want to take an unbiased approach. Basically, just say, hey, these are the facts on both sides. This is why you go with us, right? And that type of approach, that type of perspective, that type of framework can be done through static ads, video, carousels, whatever it may be. But the us versus them is a classic way because, again, it's fast, it makes sense. You can basically just see, great, which one makes sense to go with. The us versus them, I love it both in static and video format. But nonetheless, those are kind of the 5 I see right now that are really doing well. Again, AI ads are going to be huge just because it does make this process a lot faster. You can go to market a lot faster and really find, again, that hit rate, hopefully increase that, or just get through the ones that don't convert and then find the ones that do a lot quicker. Employee gen content, basically pulling the curtains, and then seeing what the employees think about the company, products, X, Y, and Z is a great angle. The objection ad, again, squashing these early and providing a one-to-many solution so the masses understand why it's not a lot of money or why you should spend money and why you have time. All this stuff is a great way to bypass all this and pre-frame your client and your customer and your product as the go-to solution. Number 4 is organic content, and instead of spending tons of time and money trying to figure out the one that works, because everyone has a low hit rate and it's not guaranteed. Why not just make organic content? Again, you're not spending money on this, or not as much as you would when it comes to running advertisements, and you are naturally going to have a low hit rate as well, but ones that do go viral, you can run some ads. You can put some spend behind that. Lastly, the classic us versus them should probably be in your toolkit. Company 1, company 2, try to make it as unbiased as possible and just tell kind of the facts. We charge $1, they charge $5. We use this ingredient, they use this ingredient. We try to use, or we're friendlier when it comes to chemicals, environment. They're not. And this can be done through static ads or video. Okay, so hopefully you got something out of that. But again, companies are using these, brands are using these to create billions of dollars and to further scale their company. So hopefully that makes sense. Start using them in your own branding, marketing, because they tend to work, and I think they're only going to get more popular. So I hope you like that one. Take care, and we'll see you next time.